up? Chaos TV Network is Chaos Leader here with my boy, Brain Mark 9.
That's me.
And he's going to be showing you the Gren Maju deck profile. It's affordable.
Oh yeah, it's basically this is one of the only true aggro decks in Yu-Gi-Oh. You have your combo, you have your control, you have your stun, also known as monkey, and we have aggro decks like Dino and this. So of course we're playing 3 actual Gren Maju. This is your kill card. It gets 400 attack for every banished card you control. It doesn't matter if it's face up or face down. Nice. So this card can touch board at like over 10 grand, no joke, and just slap your opponent at literally over 9,000. Self-facilitated, we play 3 Eater of Millions, which is non-target, non-destructible removal. This card's also immune to Kaijus. I believe it can't be tributed. Yeah, it can't be tributed, and it's also immune to Super Poly, a seldom seen but widely feared threat. Some of the spicy tech that we're playing, Pot of Extravagance at 3. This is something that I will admit you got to be careful when you play it because it has to be your opening play. But it banishes 6 cards from your extra deck, so it really helps fuel Gren Maju, but it doesn't get anywhere close to as helpful as Pot of Desires, which is probably the card you want to see the most. You banish 10 cards to draw 2. Gren Maju touches board at 4K with no additional support. One of the best draw cards in the game. I know a lot of you people that play the game more for fun think that this card is too risky. You need to experiment with this card more. If you have a deck where you play 3 copies of every card in your deck and only
play 60 cards,
you should be playing this. If you're playing a 60 card build, you definitely should be playing this. Even 40 card builds can play this. This, for reference, is a 50 card build. We're also playing 3 Evenly Matched. This is a deck that prefers to go second, and Evenly Matched basically can win you the game against control and stun variants.
And for those of you that are worried about affordability, this card is going to get reprinted.
Actually, it didn't. It was supposed to get reprinted in Spirit Charmers, and they changed it to Raigeki at the last minute.
Are you serious?
I am as furious as you are, man.
Okay, so that's going to be on one card.
This is a bit of a money card, so if you can't afford it, it's totally fine. You don't need to play it, but I will not deny this is a very helpful card.
Yep.
Banquet of Millions, it's a very affordable card. Banish any number of cards from your extra deck face down. Banish the same number of cards from your opponent's extra deck face up until the end of that turn. The point of this is you throw your extra deck out and take your opponent's extra deck away so they can't access it for a whole turn. By the time you come around to your turn, you can drop a Gren Maju at 6K in addition to all your other banished cards. This is like a quarter a copy.
For Monarch players, this is actually pretty good.
This is actually...
You can just put an extra deck together in Monarchs.
And just throw it away. Just to trigger, just to deny your opponent their extra deck.
Period.
And then we play Twin Twister at 3 because, again, this is a going second deck. You gotta have counter.
I'm surprised at this. Banquet of Millions. Did not get sold. It's the lowest affordable card.
They didn't make it a high rarity card either. It's a common. I was like,
what?
No complaints for me, but I'm like, wow. Gizmek Orochi, this is extremely valuable. This is also good as Xyz material. We'll show you more about that later. Definitely want to play this. This is the reprint for the Mega 10. This is way more affordable now than it's ever been.
Also, on a side note, I think they're trying to make Gizmex an archetype.
It kind of is. There's a Gizmek now for every attribute.
Really?
Yeah, the last one came out in the last booster set. And we're also playing 3 Bigfoot and 3 Thunderbird because, again, this deck goes second. These are really good for rank 8 plays, and also it combos really well with Twister. This allows you to kind of clear the way, or you can use it as extra deck fodder. We're also playing the Golden Castle core in this deck, so we play Terraforming and Metaverse. We're playing 3 Golden Castle. Don't forget to pay your taxes. This card is the literacy test of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you can't read, you're not going to like this card. We play Big Booty Trudy. At Goliath the Phantom Bird, which searches the field spell. Iron Hans, which calls out Iron Knight. This allows you to make basic rank 4 plays. And Iron Cage, which is non-target, non-destruction removal, to help you deal with any problem monsters like Dragoon, for example. Really important stuff that you're definitely going to want to utilize. Now that pretty much covers the main deck, so let's go ahead and talk about extra deck. It's pretty straightforward. We just play 5 cards, but at 3 copies. Unicorn, Phoenix of the Nightmares, Dingirsu, Orcus of the Evening Star. This is really easy to put on the board. This is free removal, plus it protects your other cards. Castel, because that's Iron Hans, Iron Knight fodder, and Tornado Dragon, rinse, repeat. Your extra deck is not necessary for you to win, which is why Pot of Extravagance, Banquet of Millions doesn't really have any drawbacks. Sideboard, you play 3 Nibiru, the Primal Being. This is a going second deck, and if your opponent sets up a really dense, hard to breach board, it can cost you the game. but this allows you to basically rob your opponent of their board before they make it. You don't really use your graveyard in this deck at all. Silent Graveyard is a really good way to shut down graveyard-heavy decks. Different Dimension Ground can do the same thing if you're forced to go first. If your opponent knows you're playing Gren Maju, they will definitely not want you to go second because they don't want to risk getting slapped in the teeth and O.T.K'd. So this card allows you to punish them if they make you go first. Dimension Barrier, same stuff. This is a card that, because your extra deck is kind of just an option, never a requisite for victory, you can deny players certain access to certain cards. You need to gauge this based on what you're dealing with. Zubiak is coming back right now because of the AA Zeus monster. Shutting down all of their Z summons as soon as they start their turn, that takes a lot of options away from them. And then 3 Mask of Restrict. This is kind of to punish anybody playing something like Monarchs, what few true Draco players are still floating around. Also, it means you can't get hit with Gamma Seal or any other Kaijus. So this build is pretty hyper-aggressive. You're going to mostly want to go second. You're going to try to start way clearing with cards like Evenly Matched, dig into the deck with Pot of Extravagance, Desires, use Golden Castle of Stromberg to start forcing your opponent's negates, piecemealing each of their cards away. And then at the last minute, when you banished a bunch of your cards and your opponent has nothing left to defend themselves, it's over 9,000, slap them and go straight for game. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you got any questions or comments, and have a good day. And remember, embrace monkey.